Welcome back to another Film Geek Movie review. Today I am off to check out the new movie, Dune Part 2. This is the continuation of Dune that started in 2021. It's going to wrap things up for us. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend that I am some kind of expert on the Dune series. I've never read the books. I know, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to hand in my geek card, apparently. But no, I'm just not a real heavy reader, to be perfectly honest. I tried to read the books, whatever, back in the day, and I just couldn't get into them. Sorry, guys. I'm more of a fantasy non-fiction reader, is what I've noticed, but again, I don't really read a whole lot unless I have a reason to, and I just never had a reason to sit down and read the Dune books. However, I am familiar with the David Lynch film. I know a lot of Dune fans out there are not fans of the David Lynch film. Hell, David Lynch doesn't like that film, but for some reason, I always thought it was a lot of fun. I thought the effects were kind of cool, and I mean, maybe it was because I saw it when I was so young. I haven't gone back and revisited that movie in a long time, so maybe I should sit down and do that. But you know what? It's enough of me sitting here yammering on. It is time for me to get out the door because I need to go to the old job, and then I'm off to check out Dune Part 2. Welcome back, just getting home, and what can I say, guys? I really enjoyed this movie. I think I might have liked it more than the first one. Let me put it to you this way. I liked it so much, I went ahead and got one of those popcorn buckets that everybody's talking about. Now, I have heard people making jokes about this, ha ha ha, and all. I'm not seeing it. Like, I think this is pretty cool, man. Like, I like all the designs. We've got the different house seals on here, you know, it says Dune Part 2 only in theaters. And then the cool part, we got, you know, the sandworm coming out of the top of it. And I still have not figured out what anybody... Okay, let's get this started, shall we? Now, normally I start things with negatives and do the positives later and so on and so forth, but honestly, guys, I've got nothing bad to say about this movie. This is not a negative, this is a get ready for it, guys. This movie clocks in just under 3 hours. It's about 2 hours and 45 minutes long, so make sure you snack up and go to the bathroom beforehand because you're going to be in that chair for quite some time. But don't worry, the pacing in this film is beautiful. This film just flows along like silk. Despite the fact that there really isn't a lot of big action sequences in the film, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of them, but there is moments where it's just intrigue and story and dialogue, but you never stop wanting to watch the screen. The costuming in this film is also amazing. That's something I don't necessarily ever talk about, but I love it. There is such a really amazing lived-in feel to this movie. Nothing feels brand new. Everything feels like it's been around for a minute. It's very well done. The sets look gorgeous, and the CGI, oh my gosh, the CGI is actually quite amazing. This is one of those films that I can tell did CGI the right way. There is plenty of really cool practical effects, and then they move into CGI seamlessly without even noticing. Everything looks solid and real. Like, you can actually touch these spaceships that are flying around like weird little fireflies. I've always not really enjoyed that design of the ship, by the way, but I digress. The film looks very, very pretty. The setting in the desert looks awesome. The cinematography of this film is amazing. It captures all sorts of beautiful sights on the screen. This is definitely a film that you need to see in the theaters. Do not wait for this one on streaming. This is a definite big screen film with the entire sound system and everything. Trust me, you are going to feel like you missed out if you wait for this one to come to Max, HBO Max, HBO Go, I don't know, whatever the hell that thing's called. Make sure you watch the first one first, because you might have a little difficulty catching up with everything if you haven't watched the film since, 2021. You're gonna need a little brushing up on this movie because it doesn't hold your hand. It picks up and it goes. It doesn't remind you. It doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't say, oh, by the way, previously on. You're just in it to win it. So if you don't quite remember a whole lot, it's not that fresh in your brain, you're gonna want to watch that first movie, which I do believe it is on Max right now, so you could check it out. If not, as I always say, this is why we buy physical media, right? Do you know how many times I have had to go to the theater to see a sequel of a series that I've never seen before? And so I search all over streaming services, I can't find the movies, and I have to go buy them? I own 2 Magic Mike movies because of this. Yes! So, if it's on HBO Max, check the film out so that you could get a full understanding of everything going on. I kind of wish that I would have gone. I mean, I caught up eventually, but I hadn't seen the movie in a little bit over a year, and so I was kind of behind a little bit. But then I caught up and everything was fine. So take my word, check this movie out on the big screen. Watch part 1 first to refresh your brain, because there's a lot of stuff going on in these films. I am just blown away by this. Now, I was really not expecting myself to feel this way, because I thought the first movie was good. It was okay. I'm like, yeah, I liked it. It was fun. It was cool. I enjoyed myself. But then after seeing this one, I'm like, oh my God, I missed out. I need to read these books. Our book. This is one book, guys. One book. And apparently, we're just in the middle. Because when the movie was over, I'm like, Amy, you've read the book, right? Are we done? She's like, no, we're not done. Like, oh, okay. So, yes, this is just the middle of an ongoing thing. So, yeah, definitely check that movie out or you're just going to be left in the dust. So, anyways, guys, that's all I have for you today. This is an excellent, solid, get out there, see it in theaters. Make sure you watch the first one first. But otherwise, definitely one hell of a solid movie. All right, guys, thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.